Hello everyone, welcome to Rise of Patience. We are here with an interclan duel. This is going to be between AS and AS and LAT. Just give me a moment to fix the sound. Alright, I'm back, and this is going to be a interclan battle, nomad 3 versus 3. On one side, we have got LAT Cayo Pompilio, Hugo, and Inca. On the other side, we have Marvelous, Dazzles, and Spiridon. AS has been very consistent with their nomad plays. In fact, they have a channel where they upload interclan battles. LAT also have their own channel where they upload interclan battles in Spanish. If you want to check out their respective channels, please go ahead. There are good Rise of Nations content. So far, we got. If I had to talk about players, I would say Hugo is probably the top player in LAT team right now, and even among every LAT that exists, Hugo is easily within the top 3 in Nomad. For the AS team, at least based on my knowledge, Spiridon would be the top player here, with Dazzles maybe slightly behind him and Marvelous slightly behind him then. But in any case, these are going to be a balanced game, not too much disparity, so it should not be it should not be cringeworthy to watch. It will be an interesting game. Let's fast forward the initial part where everybody's building the cities. So this looks like an old world map. That means plenty of wood, nothing to worry about. Or if you're horribly unlucky like Kaio here, like, well, Kaio still got +6, so it's not that bad. Hugo got +5 there, and Inca, damn man, Inca got a +11 woodcutter camp. What more do you need? All the AS players have got enough wood line to not having to trouble about anything. Checking out the nations, we have Japanese versus Romans here. Japanese and Romans. It's a strong battle. Initially, Japanese easily outperform any other nation, but later on, Romans can take over. If this battle goes on till H3, then I would say that the Roman player will have a significant advantage over Japanese, or in fact over any other nation, because Romans can get cheaper castles and they get instant armor upgrades without even having to build a castle. On this side, we got Spiridon as Russia and Marvelous as German. Apart from Russia, both Germans and Japanese are top class nations, so AS should not be complaining about anything. On this side, Inca has got Spanish, Korea, and Romans. Well, for LAT, I have to say they are not as lucky as the AS guys, because Spanish, while Spanish are fine, I wouldn't say they are as anywhere as good as Germans or Japanese. Same for Korea, not as good as the other two nations. So it's going to depend a lot on teamwork in this case. These guys will have to double somebody or try to outboom them. To outboom them, they'll also need the help of rares. So we'll just look at everything from Kaio's perspective, since Kaio is Spanish and he can see everything on the map. So they have got papyrus close to them, wine, peacocks, and furs. Peacocks and furs by themselves are strong rares, and if they can keep hold of that, they should not have too much problem with the boom. On the other side, the AS team, well, they've got sugar, they've got amber. I feel amber is a great rare if you want to go commerce too, and in such a case where everybody is so far apart, I don't think commerce 2 is very far-fetched. They can go for it, especially when Marvelous is soon now going to take Silk in control. And you can see how fast Germans are. Marvelous here has got Commerce 1, Civic 1, while Inca here has just got Civic 1 and is only starting to build his market. So Germans and Japanese, they get this big head start, and that's why everybody considers them overpowered in both standard and nomad. Maybe less in standard, but a lot in nomad. On this side, oh, so Hugo is using his Korean power to first go for a Civic, which is a great idea, especially being Koreans. There is no way the city is going to be stopped unless Hugo loses his villager, which I don't think he should be losing his villager. He's got a lot of villagers here, and they're Koreans. Koreans don't care. And with this city, he can also now control these gems, which is a big deal. Now the interesting part is, where is Duzzles going to build? Okay, so Duzzles is building just in enough range that he's close to gems, but I feel that Hugo can still control these gems. Hey Nova, no, it's not live. This game took place a month ago. And the Japanese player, well, what can I say about the Japanese player? Easily going to hit that 100 mark in no time. That putting a market there was a brilliant idea. Now Hugo can use this gems at the same time protect it, and gems with Korea is an amazing combination, since Koreans also get the free religion upgrade when they get Civic 2, so they are actually known for their border push. And you know what that means, German player with Silk, that's not going to be good for the LAT players. It's super easy in such a game to get your commerce limit to 150 in case you have Silk. And it's clearly visible that Marvelous is planning for that. Oh, I did not see, she already has commerce 2. Marvelous already with commerce 2 probably should now take this away. On this side, Inca built just in range to attack Spyrodon's merchant, but as expected from Spanish, they're nowhere as fast. And in fact, Russians are one of those nations that are great as a support nation. Similarly, like how Spanish are great as support nation because the Spanish ally can tell you where the rares are, can tell you about where the trees are, and it's really good to have Spanish player in your team rather than to be the Spanish player yourself. Similarly, Russians are great to be in your team because you can ask your Russian teammate to build in front of you and provide that cover of attrition. It's common for everybody to go senator in nomad games, so that attrition, that wall of attrition by the Russian player can easily delay the opponent's attack. And in fact, that's what makes Russians the best in nomad as a wingman nation. Koreans are also another wingman nation in Rise of Nation would be Koreans because they can make cheap towers, they can protect you while you're being sieged, they can also repair your buildings if you need some time. And this is a nicely placed tower by Hugo. He is going to take out Dazzle's merchant. Dazzle's man, Dazzle should have built it a little closer. On this side, well, Inca is there just in time. I wish Inca was attacking this tower, but well, that did not happen. That would have been the best case for sure. I also wish Pyrodon put this inside the tower, but that did not happen either. And now this silver is going to be almost unraidable for the rest of the game because first it's in Russian territory, then there is a tower here. I wonder if Pyrodon will just get a third city here and permanently seal this. Now the only and Kaio will definitely will need help very soon. He is surrounded by the Russian player and the German player. Germans by themselves are too strong, and yeah, just by themselves, Germans are too strong to take. And if they get an ally, well, God save Kaio right now. Oh, I mean Inca right now. On this side, I hope Kaio and Hugo, they better have some plan for this game. Spiridon just went for Colossus, so that's a relief. It tells me that he's not going to be aggressive, at least for the first few minutes. And this Colossus should also be a relief for Inca that he's not going to get doubled, at least. But it should also be a warning sign for the rest of the AL or LAT players that Spiridon is going to boom for the rest of the game. And Colossus and Hanging Gardens. Those are two of the rares that can completely turn around the game if your opponent has it. At the same time, Japanese being a great civ, Japanese is a great civ, and because they get this plenty full of food, it's easy to survive even a 2 versus 1 if you're Japanese. What's interesting is that Dazzles did not go commerce too. I would say with Japanese, even if you don't have the silk, with Japanese is completely worth, because you can maximize that 150 food income with just 2 cities. You have 10 farms and that's enough to get you to close to 150. A great move by Hugo here. He's using militia to trade and sugar. Well, yes, he is going to get this merchant as well. This is another strong point about Koreans, that they can use their militia as raiding units, and since villagers are dirt cheap, you can make a lot of militia and scatter them around the map if you want to. Looks like Dazzles has not seen this. Oh man, Dazzles, you need to be more active. Dazzles is still not moving, man. This is bad. This was bad. This was very bad. Dazzles should have seen that. Also bad part from the AS team, nobody pointed it out. Duzzles could have saved his merchant, or at least one of them could have saved his merchant. The militia is a good raiding unit, but it takes time to kill, so whoever got the first hit should have notified the other players to run away. Nice bribe there by Duzzles. He takes out Kaio's archer. And there's a siege factory coming. You know what that means. This is going to be an all-in battle. In fact, with Koreans it's even better, because the Korean player can, well, the Korean player can get militia involved with the battle. This tower will give a buffering space to Duzzle, so that in case he's attacked, he will know in advance. That's a nice army there. Duzzle should not be in any problem, at least for now. Spiridon is also here, which is definitely a good move. That does, while that does leave Spiridon completely open, but he's Russian, so he can manage that, not a big problem. For this side, Marvelous, who has not chosen a government yet, I wonder if she will choose despotism, which will not be a bad choice at all, considering she already has the 150 income. And there comes three sieges in total. This should do the trick for these guys. Not to forget, Hugo has gone Despot, and in Nomad, Despot is more of an all-in, because you can see that on this side everybody with Senator is going to receive the extra commerce, but not Hugo. Hugo will have to manually do the commerce research, which is expensive in Nomad. So usually I suggest, if you're going for Despot, you want to kill as soon as possible, even ambush the opponent, but this is not a good place to ambush either. And luckily for AS, these guys are prepared for that. Where the Despot can really take advantage is if Despot can continuously cash in on the destruction plunder. So when this building is destroyed, normally you would get 40 food, but with Despot you'd get 80 food there. So the 80, so that extra plunder is also something that can negate the that can help you negate what the Senator was going to provide. I mean, what you missed out on Senator. And Senator from Marvelous as well. Still not a bad idea. Anyway, this would be good, as long as Marvelous can keep using that extra commerce. And she's got an amazing knowledge income. In fact, he's easily the best performer player right now. On this side, Hugo is getting his militia ready. This is how villagers stand before they die. And it feels really bad here, but yeah, that's also the trade-off with Despot. I don't know why Kaio was trying to attack Kyoto. There was just no point. Maybe they were trying to take two cities together, but well, if the opponent has an army which is together, it's often better to go together. That's still a super questionable move by Kaio. He should help Hugo there instead of whatever he's doing there. The moment the city is taken, it should be repaired. Needs to change one of these militia back to normal and start repairing this city. Doesn't look like Hugo is doing that, and Kaio is not sending units at the right pace. More units need to be sent. No repairs still. No repairs still. Yep. So this city will be taken back. On the other side, looking at the armies, well, Inca is not doing bad at all. Inca has got a decent army still. In fact, I would even suggest Inca to just go and rush into this army, because he's got a bigger one. He's got an upgrade one. He could ambush and get there. And here Hugo says don't separate, because yeah, that was obviously the reason why these guys don't have Hirosaki, else Hugo did a great job there. And now this is where the game starts falling apart. Without that Despot and without taking the city, now these guys still have their senator advantages, but without the army, Hugo is has just taken a step back into this game. On this side, Inca's only motivation right now is to survive. He's got a 30 knowledge income against 135, 140 for Marvelous. So Marvelous will win here. She is going to take down Inca. That looks like a lot of army. There's decoys, but well, as long as the opponent doesn't care, doesn't find out, it's fine. Also, Duzzle doesn't have a lot of army. He did lose some units there. And same for Spyrodon, he doesn't have a lot of army either. This might end the game, man. I did not think it would come to this, but that was a great comeback by Hugo. This time, as long as Kaio doesn't separate himself, he should be strong. Again, I wonder if Hugo is going to start repairing this city already. I don't see anybody repairing. Because of the Korean repair bonus, they become especially strong. Once they take the city, they can start repairing, and then it's too late. Even that's too late for the opponent to take it back by simply putting his units next to him. So that's great. At this point, I would strongly suggest Hugo to spend all of his wealth on knowledge. Just stop thinking about producing wealth heavy units, because he needs to get that commerce 2 done. Without commerce 2, he won't win. Marvelous is aged. Marvelous is doing a tremendous job, especially since she has hanging gardens. This game does not look very good for Inca here. Inca had this army for a long time, but he never used it. That's the problem. And now when he's using it, he's an age behind. So Marvelous, even though she doesn't have the numbers, she has the advantage in technology. Marvelous also raiding in background, but that's great. I see that Inca has a research attrition, which is a great thing to do in H2 when you know your opponent has gone for senator. Oh, what is Kaio doing? That's not supposed to be done. Kaio just ran into the city of Kyoto. These guys have no reason to do that. They can simply wait for the city to be sieged down. Let's still wait. Oh man, Kaio is attacking the wrong thing. He's attacking the tower. Some very questionable move by Kaio in this series. And the bribe's coming. Here comes the bribe. And oh man, I feel so bad that Hugo and Kaio did not wait for this. They had this game. They could have easily just they should have chewed down through this storm of buildings here. They didn't have to hurry up. They did not have to hurry up. That is a poor move. That was a poor, not as a poor, horrible move there. They just lost this game because of that. Now they must save these siege units, and they won't be able to save the unit in time. Siege is expensive. Should always take back the siege before your units. And there goes the victory. They absolutely needed that victory because Inca was dying there, but they were too hasty. Hugo says, let's recover. Oh no, he says he recovered. But it's actually not that case. The thing is that these guys hurried up too much. They had so much siege power, so much siege power. They could have killed all of these buildings and then taken Kyoto. They did not have to be so fast. Hey Kron, hey Ishu, hey Ron the greatest. And at this point, this is another super questionable move by Inca. What are you doing, Inca? Don't go, don't go. You have the city, and you still have to upgrade your units. Inca has not started upgrading his units, so it's safe to say that Marvelous is going to kill Inca in some time. And there's horrible team play by the LAT guys here. Yugo and Kaio could have killed them at least 3 times by now, but they made just so many mistakes. At the same time, Spyrodon and Duzzles have shown great teamwork here. Even they never had bigger army numbers than the LAT guys, but they always worked together. So their armies were always together compared to the LAT guys, which I don't know how they always managed to separate their armies. Yugo is still stuck with 100 and it hurts. And remember that part where he lost 3 sieges? That also hurts. Hey VV Pro. Well, yeah, there are not a lot of players in Rise of Nations, but whatever small community is, it's still fun sometimes to play. So that's a big mistake right now from Yugo. First of all, he has not built his... Oh man, yeah, he has not built extra caravan for the third city he's taken. Marvelous is also iterating, and luckily there's not enough militia. There's not enough militia. No, Marvelous doing a great job. In fact, Marvelous might be able to carry the AS team right now. Yugo just asked Kaio to get the extra military because he's Romans, and yeah, he can get the extra military if he wants. Kaio actually has amazing income here. He's got... that's a lot of food to be in the inventory. I wonder what's Kaio up to. Kaio should be able to mass up a huge army. Another thing is Kaio needs to get a front barracks. This is a long place for reinforcements. Another problem is that he is not sending units enough. That's if for that amount of resources. For that amount of resources, he should be continuously sending units. Just having a single barracks is not helpful. Yep, he just does make more barracks, so hopefully he'll have a bigger army very soon. He's getting common military as well, and this is the part where Romans outshine every other nation. This is actually also a good time for them to maybe split up and take up Fushimi. Yugo can tower this city here, and then they can go and take Fushimi easily. On this side, let's see, it's just a matter of time before Marvelous kills Inca. Inca doesn't have army. Didn't he just have army? Oh man. I think Inca tried to attack Marvelous with just bad numbers. Marvelous is also raiding in the background everywhere possible. And somehow Marvelous just sends the right unit to defend, and there comes Inca's militia, which I feel should be enough to protect the raid. Looking at Duzzles, Eco Duzzles is barely surviving here, so they have this advantage. On this side, Spyrodon is doing fine. And Kaio is also doing fine. Kaio just doesn't have the numbers, else I feel he can easily win this game. He should be making more units, a lot more units. Hugo has dug himself a big hole with that despot that did not work. He should go. Oh, he also lost the. He also lost that. And that wealth, yeah, he should have asked for wealth a lot earlier. Now, without the age upgrade, going to be difficult. Oh man, Inca should not be giving well. I wouldn't suggest Inca to give anything at this point. He is dying here. Hey Ruben, yeah, Ron the Greatest says that Hugo can win this. Well, I would have said the same thing in earlier part of the game, but not anymore. Hugo is doing just about as good as Duzzles. While Duzzles will settle down with his new eco very soon. And these are small mistakes that need not be made. You can see Kaio is just standing in this range. He can easily avoid that. He doesn't need to take these hits. He should force his crossbows in front. He could even make javeliniers if he has to. Inca says, I don't know how long I'll be able to stand. So finish fast or don't die. He said one of those two things. And check out that income. In fact, he could get another this crop rotation upgrade as well. H4, no chance for Inca. No chance for Inca. This is GG on this side. Oh, what's funny is that the capital still has not been moved. Okay, no, he is moving capital. Yeah, that's a good call because without the capital move, these guys are not going to survive for too long. Now, I only see mostly Spiridon's army here. So these guys need to reduce the city and rush to Kyoto. No time, absolutely no time to waste. On the other side, Inca should be deleting his Senate, which he is doing an excellent move. I would suggest Inca to just delete everything here, move all of his villagers to a new place, something like this, or because he is going to. And Hugo says all or nothing. Let's go, man. I want to see if these guys can take the city without taking Kyoto. There's absolutely no way to win this. Hugo needs to bring his archers closer to the city of Kyoto. Closer, closer, closer. Yes, and these guys take it. These guys take it. Time to repair the city. The problem is there is not a lot of heavy infantry here, and these heavy cavalry from Spiridon can pose a big threat to this archer army. Ooh, and the militias are also joining. That was a solid move by Spiridon to send his cavalry right where it would hurt these guys. And there comes the GG by Hugo. As I said, one of the big reasons why these guys lost is that they never had Hugo at least never had the commerce. He should have gone extra commerce as soon as possible, even if it meant delaying age. On the other side, Spiridon did great with his holding. Spiridon and Duzzles both held on their as a team. That's what was needed in this game. Yeah, and the reason this game is over, remember, it's not solely because of Duzzles and Spiridon. In fact, Duzzles and Spiridon only held all this game. The real credit would go to Marvelous. Marvelous killed Inca in just the right time. Inca needs to run away. This is a common mistake even I used to do a lot. I used to try to defend an undefendable city. There's no point in having your units there. She should be running away right now. I mean, Inca should be running away. And that looks like the end of the game. Hugo has resigned. No reason to continue playing this. Let's have a quick check out on the economies. Spiridon did a great job scouting there. 425 ruins for Russians is great. Inca on the other side did too bad. For Spanish, 115 ruins is hardly 4. Yeah, or maybe 5. Yeah, he got only 5 or 6 at max. That was horrible. Hey Boo, how are you doing, man? You joined at the end of the game. This is almost. Oh, this is over almost. This is over. So a lot of people are to blame in this game from the LAT team. The first blame I would give is to Caio Pompilio. Caio separated his army when Yugo needed him to stay at Hirosaki. That was the first time when they lost a battle, and it gave just enough time for Dazzles to repair. If they had taken that city and held on to the city, that was it. That could have been victory for these guys. On the other side, where Yugo messed up was a lot of times he failed to repair his cities, he failed to repair the cities right after he took them, and he did not spend much on wealth. The problem with the thing is, if you're going despot, you need to get the commerce as soon as possible. And Boo, I'm not going to cast King of Sahara today. Or at least not today, and not this time. Maybe if I find somebody to commentate with me, it'll be done in about 10 hours from now. Caio, even by himself, is doing fine. So if Caio thinks that he can win, then maybe he should have persuaded Yugo to not quit. And Inca needs to keep moving at this point. He just needs to keep going somewhere. And at this point, I wonder if Inca should have taken a detour and gone for Berlin. That would buy him so much time. Looking at other stats, for military wise, Duzzles had the highest skill, followed by Caio, Spiridon, and Yugo. So both this side, Duzzles, Marvelous, and Spy plus Yugo, they had great kill numbers. And Spiridon definitely looked like he had a lot of units all this time. Man, look at that army. Marvelous army. Yeah, Marvelous can beat the whole LAT team by herself now. There's nothing left to play in this. So let's fast forward this part. Probably Caio just ages. But there is no point. Marvelous is going to kill. It's over already. But that was a great teamwork by the LAT. I mean, by the ES guys, and it also gives me hope that LAT, if LAT plays their top game, they can easily, or not actually not easily, but they can probably win against AS. Especially this team of AS can be beaten by LAT. The only thing LAT need to do is have a better teamwork than they showed in this game. That was a great interclan battle. I'll be taking off now. Anybody watching this, thank you guys. I'll probably be back in 10 hours for a King of Sahara cast. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.